Welcome to another glorious gloomy day in Oregon. This is what is holding me up. So when this is done, we're gonna be rocking and rolling. I've been talking about my home office, y'all, for a super long time, and the end is in sight. And I wanna make sure that I've really put some thought into the space and the furniture, because I don't wanna have to buy furniture again and try and like redo the space 1,000 times. With your help, we're going to design my home office. So let's get started. I gotta put y'all somewhere that makes sense. I feel like over here makes sense, so let's just do that. So, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kim. I make content around desk setup, office setup, tech career, and balancing all of your hobbies as a working mom. And today I want to spend some time to share my ideas for my home office, which will not only be for creating content, but it's also for working because I do work from home. I want a space that's functional, that is aesthetic to some degree, is personalized, and is toddler-proof. And I don't even know if that part's possible, but we're gonna find out. For this space, I need a layout that works and I'm not bumping into things. I need a ton of storage for all of my peripherals and all of my just things that I've accumulated over the years. I need a space that keeps me inspired to like create things, but also is peaceful, you know, so not too overwhelming with like colors and lights. And I'm also working with the budget. Like we're not gonna go buck wild Walters with spending a ton of money on furniture or accessories or a bunch of different things that just really don't make sense and actually contribute to the function. So I have to be smart about what I buy and what I use and repurposing things. So let's break down what my game plan is. You guys can help me figure out if that's like a good game plan or not. First, we're gonna decide the layout. So I not only want a setup that is functional, but I need to maximize the space. The room that I'm going to be in is bigger than the last room I was in. So I have more space for like bookshelves and things like that and like hutches. What are those things called? What are those things called? It's the thing you put in the dining room, a buffet, but not use it for like china, right? Like use it for all my camera stuff. Y'all, the junk that I've accumulated over the years is inexcusable and I need a place to put it away so it looks nice and neat. So I need to maximize the space. And one thing that like has to be a thing is I really need natural light. So here's the thing about living in the Pacific Northwest. It is the long dark night. It is gray, it is rainy for a long portion of the year. So I want to maximize whatever gray natural light I can get and also have space for like artificial lighting. I'm thinking I got a couple options here for where I can put my desk. Let's go over them and let me know what you think. Layout option number 1, which is the desk is in front of the window. I get plenty of natural light for videos. It's not too bright, and those are the pros. The cons are that the door is in the background, so if someone's coming in, which AKA a toddler, they're gonna be in the video, they're gonna come in on the Zoom meeting. Is it such a problem? Probably not. Most of the people I work with understand that I have a child, but that's the con. The other con is that it won't show anything in the background well. These 2 bars that you see here are actually closet shelves that we have hung up on the wall. So I could leave those up and show like pretty dresses or something, but that's not really what I want to have in my background. I would really like to have like a bookshelf with things on the shelf with like cozy lighting. So that's the con of this space. I don't really have the ability to show that too much because the wall is so far away. So here is layout option number 2, where the desk is 90 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise from the window. So I still get natural light. I don't have people coming in and out of the space. I won't show people coming in and out of space as much as the other option would. And I get whatever I want in the background shown. So my bookshelf with my cozy lights and like my little like trinkets or whatever I want to store on my shelf. This is the second best option. This is the option, honestly, I was going with the most for a couple of different reasons. One was because I have a giant parabolic light stand. Y'all, this thing is massive. And I don't really want it like out and about in the space all the time because again, I have a 2-year-old. So I could stick it here in the closet when it's not in use easily and be able to just pull it out and put it back in and have it positioned over my desk to light me up, to give more artificial lighting if, you know, the light's just like garbage. So layout option number 2. Layout option number 3 is the desk is positioned 90 degrees clockwise from the window. This has the least amount of natural light, But this gives me the most wall space for my desk for anything I put in front of it. It still gives me the option of having my bookcase behind me or whatever things I want to put behind. And it still kind of limits what you see in the background if my son comes in and out of the room. But again, it has the least amount of natural light. My giant light stand is always going to be in the way. I have to pull it in and out. Kind of don't really even like this option now that I'm thinking about it. We're just going to scratch layout option number 3. Really, we got layout option 1 and number 2. If you can think of a reason why layout option number 3 works better, love to hear your opinions, but I'm really leaning towards 2. 1 gives me the most light, but really not quite what I want. The other problem with layout option number 1 is that I don't have the ability to put things in front of my desk. So I have lights I want to put in front, but I can't really do that because the window's right there. So I think number 2 is the winner chicken dinner, but y'all let me know what you think. And if I can make one of these other spaces work better, like, I'd love to hear about it. If we're sticking with layout option number 2, this gives me a lot of storage options, one with the bookcase, one with the hutch in the closet, and then I can add additional smaller bookcases and shelves and stuff for all of the bins and camera gear. Y'all know how it is. You got cameras, you got lights, you got mics, you got all kinds of peripherals, you got multiple laptops, you got all kinds of just stuff, and you just want to put it somewhere and not look at it until you need it, and then you didn't label all your boxes on your bins, and you're like, where is this very specific cable for this one device that I need to charge? I just need a place to organize it all. So this gives me that. All right, now let's talk about the vibe and the design of the office, which I'm not gonna go into too much detail because it's gonna be like a separate video, but this is probably like the most fun part, but it's also probably the hardest part because I struggled really, really hard with coming up with like a design because I love color. I love pastels. I also love bright South Florida Lily Pulitzer neon colors, y'all. And it is hard to not be like, let me just personalize this whole office with like bright neon Lily Pulitzer everything, because that's not going to give me a space that's peaceful and relaxing. I'm just going to want to like, you know, be on a cruise the whole time. And as I've aged a little bit and as I approach 40, I'm not super into the like pastel kind of aesthetic as much because that caters more to like a younger version of me that's like not really there. So I'm more into like muted pastels, muted colors. I'm on that end, or I'm way on the other end with like bright Lily Pulitzer. So I'm thinking muted pinks, muted greens, ivories, neutrals, wood elements. This gives a very peaceful vibe. I originally wanted something that was like Sakura themed, and I still want to have some Sakura elements to my room, but not completely like pinked out. And that's kind of what I'm going for. A little bit of Japandi, Japanese influence and like Scandinavian style, because when I see that, I just think, I think clean, I think peace. So that is what we're going for. I'm definitely not a minimalist, but I'm also not a maximalist. So I don't want to have like minimal looking room that doesn't feel lived in. For me, things that are minimal just don't feel lived in. And y'all, I have a lived in house and I believe in having a space that feels really comfortable. And for me, a blend between clean and home is where I am. So somewhere in between. Wood. I don't like white furniture like that. I have some pieces of white furniture, but mostly wood. I want wood bookshelves or wood looking bookshelves, wood coffee tables, wood stands, preferably light wood, like light oak, birch, like a light maple. That's what I'm thinking, so something very warm. And then touches of RGB lighting as well are super duper important. I love RGB lighting, but during the day, I don't want it to be super RGB, streets of Shinjuku bright. But I want it to be peaceful and cozy and kind of like Zen. But at night, if I want it to be like I'm on Takeshita Street, that's what I want it to feel like. So we're gonna have RGB lighting in various points of the room, but not like overkill. I already have the RGB accent lighting, I have rope lights, I have some nano leaf like Sakura lines, which I'm really excited to put up at some point, but I have various different lights. I also have a neon sign that I got custom made. So RGB accents along the walls in different places, but like not too much, and definitely ones that like you're not gonna see necessarily on like a video conference call, because I wanna maintain that level of like professionalism, but also personality at the same time. yeah, I want to be able to just like set the mood at night. So if I wanted to, again, be Takeshita Street, we got that. Let me know what you think about that setup and tips you might have for how I can make that work. Next up, let's talk about the desk setup. This is the most important part for me because I am at my desk 8 to 10 hours a day and have a standing desk. Currently, y'all know I'm in my dining room. I don't have a standing desk. It's very limited. I measured this thing. It's like 38 inches or something like that wide. Not that wide. So I'm real cramped. In storage, I have a standing desk from Fully, which is now like Herman Miller or whatever. And I like it, but there's a couple things I want to kind of figure out with this space. It's really small. It's a 42 by 24 inch, which is small. Given my space, I have a large 32-inch monitor. I want to be able to have 2 monitors and a MacBook. That's not enough space to have all of that work and still have space for putting things on the desk. Space is really challenging with that current desktop. It's also have the manual up and down button, which is, it's fine, but it would be nice to have one that has presets so I can press the button one time and be able to stand up and stretch without having to hold it the whole time. So what I'm thinking is I can upgrade the top to a butcher block to something that will fit the current legs that I have and give me more space and length. And that could work. I also could get a completely new desk with a handset that has presets, with a bigger top. But again, we're trying to be smart about budget. So I would love to be able to get a new desk and be able to repurpose that one, but I just don't know if the budget's really gonna work with the new desk because the size desk that I want, it's gonna be at least $500, $600, like minimum, I feel like. So I don't know. But I'm thinking the most economical solution is just to get a butcher block and just use my current set of legs. I don't know what you think. Do you think I should just upgrade the top and keep the legs, or should I just upgrade to a whole new desk? The desk, Herman Miller and Fully, they're so expensive now, and like the idea of having to buy another desk, it just does not sound like a good time and not something I feel like I should blow my budget on. But if there are budget desk brands that you really love that have presets, that are reliable, not super noisy motors, and have big tops, please let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely on the lookout. I've heard of FlexiSpot, I've heard of Uplift, but I just don't know if there's any other brands out there. And again, I don't want to spend a ton of money on a standing desk. So let me know. If you also think I should just keep what I currently have and just upgrade the top, I'm curious to hear about other people who've upgraded their desktop. I've heard about people doing it for like not on standing desks, and my concern is that like the butcher block is gonna be like too heavy, but I feel like that the Fully legs, they should be fine. I don't know. But that's my current desk setup. I want to be able to have like at least a 55-inch wide desktop. I need a big mamma jamma. I need space for 2 monitors and a MacBook and a monitorizer, and I want to be able to put it on wheels. So am I asking for too much? I think I'm asking for too much. I don't know. Let's move on to function. Also super important. Since I have a toddler, I need the space to not only be functional for me, but also safe. So some people might be like, oh, well, it's your space, like keep your toddler out. Listen, that doesn't work when you're mom. Your toddler wants to follow you everywhere. So I need things with no sharp edges and things that are breakable. And if they are breakable, I can tuck them away somewhere so my son can't get into it. He has a ton of energy and he's a hurricane. So this is why I need a bookshelf, because I need somewhere to put things with a door and I can hide it, or put it in a bin up on a shelf so my son can't reach it. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want to have safety hazards. I don't want to have safety hazards. I don't want to have things that are super breakable, things that can be mounted to the wall, and things that like if they get a little dinged or dirty, I'm not going to fuss about it, which is partially why I don't want to get super expensive furniture. I'm thinking a Japandi kind of style bookshelf. So the IKEA Billy bookshelf with like the glass doors with the like solid bottoms, I'm thinking. I've also seen a couple from Amazon that I really like that I might want to try. I'm thinking a nice floor mirror that can kind of also bounce light off and brighten up the space a little bit. And then I also have the open shelving on the wall, so I can use that for nice baskets and things like that to put things in and tuck away. I also want a cozy chase lounge, like an oversized one that I can put in the room to be able to have a different space to work, have my son be able to sit somewhere cozy and watch a movie or just hang out with his toys, and be able to have a little TV stand to put a small little TV where we can kind of snuggle and watch movies or whatever. It'll be a great spot for me to chill out, for my son to hang out, if my husband and my son want to hang out while I'm in the room. If you have suggestions for where to look for furniture, that kind of helps me accomplish all of those goals. Again, y'all let me know, because I've been looking on Amazon and IKEA. Those are the main places because I live near IKEA, so yeah. Now we're gonna talk about decor, personal touches. Okay, so home office has to be functional, but it also has to be inspiring, and it has to feel like your office and not just something that you're copying that doesn't feel like you. So I'm thinking of adding some plants, a little bamboo tree, olive trees, hanging plants. We already talked about RGB LED lighting and framed prints that make me feel happy and warm, as well as photos of my family. And then I already have lights. I already mentioned that. I was thinking about getting the Nanoleaf wood elements, but I have heard a lot of really mixed reviews about them. I've heard they die really easily. I've heard they have really bad network connectivity issues. So I'd love to hear from people who have the wood elements that can give me some honest opinions about them, that have had them for at least a year, because I really love the way they look. I know they recently reduced the price permanently, and so I was thinking about adding some in the space. Yeah, just let me know. And then I'll also be showing off some of my favorite items, some of my favorite books, things I've collected over the years, things from my travels. I don't want it to overcrowd the space, but I also want it to feel like, oh, this is cool. And if someone comes in and sees it, or they see it in the background, they say, hey, what's the story behind this coral that you have here? Oh, I got it on my honeymoon when we went here, and then we saw this, and you know, like that. So that's the vibe I'm going for. Lastly, let's talk about budget and smart buys. So this is the most important part. I know setting up a home office can take a while, and it can cost a lot of money. And fam, balling on a budget. This all has to fit within $1,000 max budget, which I feel like is very, very doable. I already have a good chair. This one, it's from Autonomous. Don't need a new chair. I already have some desk parts. I already have legs. So if I decide not to go with a new desk, I just need a desktop, which I could get for like $200 or less. That helps me keep my costs low. I think the biggest purchases are going to be the rug, because for whatever reason, rugs cost a ton of money. Bookshelves, the buffet table, and the chase lounge. The bookshelf's probably gonna run me $300. The hutch can probably get for $150. I can maybe get the bookshelf for $150 too, depending on where I get it from. I keep calling them hutches. Entertainment stands, buffet stands, I don't know what they're called. I could get a couple of those. I've seen them. You could get two for like $300, and then I could get like a bookshelf for $150, and then get the rug, and then the desktop. And I really feel like I keep it all under $1,000. The plants aren't really gonna be that expensive. But yeah, the furniture is gonna be the most expensive part. So Amazon and IKEA, I feel like, are gonna be the most budget-friendly places. But again, if you got suggestions, I might also look at Facebook Marketplace. I know a lot of times people are selling furniture there for a discount that they just kind of wanna get rid of. If you were me, where would you save and where would you splurge? I think I wanna splurge on, like, the desk naturally feels like the best place to splurge, but I already have really solid desk legs. But here's the thing with cheap furniture though. If it's cheap, it's usually not good quality, and it doesn't last a long time. But I feel like also particle board has come a ways over the years. Like, we're not getting real solid wood furniture. That's just out of the question. We cannot afford that. But this is the tough part, for sure. So that is my home office game plan. I would love to hear what you think. And if you have any suggestions for where I could save, where I should splurge, ideas for the layout, and anything that I might be missing, drop a comment below if you have any tips, suggestions, things to look out for, and ideas for how I can really make this space feel like me. And if you have any must-have home office essentials, please let me know as well. I'm definitely all ears. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates, because we are going to have another video and multiple videos in this series about how I complete this project. I'll see you guys in my next video. And if you want to check out any more videos from me, please feel free to check out this video right here on the screen. I think you're gonna like it. Until my next one, bye.